Alrighty, hi there. Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to work on this Lord of the Rings picture that honestly I'm pretty nervous about. I was going to use my dip pen for it, but I'm not sure if that's the right thing. I wonder if I should be using my brush a bit more. But you know what? I've been wanting, been feeling a little too safe with some of my daily drawings lately, so this will be good. Add a little bit of discomfort to the whole process. That'll be good. Sorry, I had to close something there. Make sure as best as I can that I actually stay on the camera. So, what should we chat about today? Kind of in a new month here. Not kind of, that's silly. We are in a new month. That always gets me thinking about what I hope to accomplish. What do I got going on and planned for this month? So, September, I'm going to start. It's not so much for this month, but one of the big things I'm starting is actually plan to do a Legend of Sleepy Hollow illustrations. I'm going to do it as an Inktober sort of project. I thought that would be a good time for it. And if you don't know, Inktober is it's a art challenge that Jake Parker started. I don't remember when I first heard about Jake doing that, but it's been a while now, and it's for improving your inking. So that's what it was specifically designed for. You know, people do it digitally, people do it traditionally, they do it both. So when I say inking, it doesn't have to be, you know, actual pen and ink, right? But anyway, so I'm going to do this Sleepy Hollow project for my Inktober posts. And I've wanted to do some public domain things for a long while now. I just, you know, had all kinds of other stuff going on. But I need to do more. I'm not sure exactly the aesthetic that I want to hit with it. On the one hand, I want it to be very inky. That's why I'm excited about doing it. You know, Inktober. I can practice different inking techniques. Sorry, I'm just still not sure if the dip pen is the way that I want to go. I like it. It's fun. Has a very bouncy sort of line about it that I really like. The roughness. But I'm not positive. About the look I'm gonna get. You know what, guys? We're gonna just let this ride and see what we get. How about that? We'll do it together. Okay. Alright. Well, with that decision made, let's get back to chatting. So, yeah, so that's one of the big things that I'm going to try to start, that's one of the big things I'll be doing this September, is starting in on the actual sketches and, well, hopefully finalizing some of the sketches I've been doing. I've been doing a, I don't know what to call it, doing some prep on how many illustrations there will be, which scenes from the book I want to illustrate, that kind of stuff. Which is funny, or fun, not fun, I don't know the word. As I read it, it's like I see the things that should probably be illustrated, scene to scene. But, of course, the main things that I want to illustrate are Ichabod and the stuff that happens with him. But in the beginning of the book, there's such a focus on the environment and the history of kind of the area and whatnot. It's a fabulous book. That's why I'm excited to do it. Yeah, so what do I mean? I'm going to self-publish this, first off, to be clear. I was not hired to do Sleepy Hollow. This is something that I'm choosing to do on my own because it is in public domain. So that means that, you know, if you wanted to, you could just take the original art and, well, I think the art is in public domain. I don't know about the original art, because that part didn't matter to me. But the story is in public domain. So you can take that and publish it if you want. It's no longer copyrighted. And so I want to do my own illustrations and self-publish my illustrated version of Sleepy Hollow. So I'm going to use Washington Irving's, the original text, but I'm going to illustrate it. I think it will be fun. I think it'll be pretty cool. I had a couple little things in there that I opted to change from the writing, but for the most part, everything will be the original text, which is really, I don't know, something really cool about that. These things that come in public domain, it's just, I don't know. I really, I have one project that I am especially excited to do, one of these public domain projects that I'm especially excited to do. And it's interesting, it's funny, because the thing about it is, the thing that really kind of kicked it up was reading to my kid, honestly. Like, I have my own books that I'm making, but I hadn't really thought about reading my books to her, and I know that sounds funny. I read stuff from my books to her all the time, because she jumps up in my chair and wants to know what's going on. She'll see a picture of something on Bjorn, and I remember this ink takes longer to dry than my pens and brush, so anyway, so it's one of the things that has me most excited about it is the thought of Eva and, you know, someday my grandkids, if that's a thing. I mean, my brother's kids, so my nieces and my nephews even. That there gets to be this sort of extra connection between this book that I really enjoy, that I want to share, and my family, right? Or whoever, you know, I'm thinking of my family specifically here, but friends, whoever. That now it's not just, oh man, Ben really loved that book and wanted us to read it, to an element of, oh wow, you know, your Uncle Ben, or your grandpa, whatever I am to them, right? He actually illustrated this, right? So just an extra little bit of connection. And again, it's funny to me that, like, I of course have thought about my family reading Bjorn and the other books that I have planned, and yet I've never really thought about reading them to them. So it's just kind of different. I don't know, it's funny. And I'm looking forward to that from this. So that's the Sleepy Hollow prep that I'm doing this month. What's going on here, Pen? There we go. Why are you having such a hard time? Some of the ink is getting gunked up in there, or? Yeah, it's just this old, I don't even know what the nib is. I feel bad. Folks will ask, and I can't read it. So I don't know what to tell them. Whenever they're wondering what kind of nib, what is going on here? Whenever they're wondering what kind of nib this is. I changed it at some point. I don't remember where I got this little set. so I can't say it's the one that came with it. So with the Sleepy Hollow idea, I was thinking something like an old sort of, a lot of the art and illustrations from that time were very just sort of dip pen based and very etchy, I guess is the right word for it. And so I thought about, that was sort of an initial thinking, was that I would do something like that. Cartoony, but in a more sort of etched kind of style. And I'm not sure, because I do want it to be very inked at this point, but I'm also kind of debating coloring it. Some nice fall colors, although I like to mess with things, so it'd be cool to have like some good blue colors in there too. I think they would offset the typical fall. The fall palette that you would expect with the Sleepy Hollow book. Sorry, what else is going on? September. I feel like I'm dropping the ball on my chat here for you guys. Just kind of immersed in the scratching on this paper. I really love working with a dip pen, honestly. It's more sketchy, I guess. I don't know. That's why I thought about doing it for this picture. This picture has so many sort of options, I'll say, with the line work. That the sorry, cleaning up my pen a little more there. That the oh my goodness. That the that a dip pen, the sketchiness of a dip pen really kind of fits that well. It's never been my, well, for any of my comics work for Bjorn, I started doing my comic fits about a little wizard and his dragon friend Brutus. I started doing that with the dip pen. Mostly for that kind of a sort of change of pace from working with the brush so much. And I really dig it. I guess with a strong enough mic, I'd be able to do, what is it, the ASMR with this. You can hear the actual scratchiness of the pen. Maybe I'll consider that at some point. Maybe when I'm doing the Sleepy Hollow pages. That'll be cool. I'm gonna work to put those up. Kind of a pre-sale sort of plan on that is what I'm thinking. Hopefully, I'll put them. I always put it up for patrons first, but hopefully enough people will, once I share some samples, people will be excited enough about the book to want to do pre-order original art. That's my hope. And that'll help take some of the burden off of wondering if pages are going to sell or not. Which it's like I have my goal of how I'd like to see my what do you call it? My income, my sales, my yeah, sales, I guess. How I'd like to see income, I guess is the right word. that I'd like to see whatever project I'm trying to work on. I'd like to be able to pre-sell original art from that to help fund the creating of the project. Because as it is right now for me, freelancing, well, working on my own books that are in sort of the production phase, there's no money coming in from that. I don't get an advance on Bjorn. So I basically just don't get paid. And, you know, if the comics make enough, or after the Kickstarter books have printed, and then I have, I was hoping to sink some money into purchasing some extra books for myself, then I can sell those. Hopefully that'll happen. Because otherwise, yeah, the Kickstarter money's all spoken for, so I didn't make any money on that. I'm trying to still make sure we don't lose money on that with the cost of printing and everything shooting through the roof. Anyway, so with no advance on working on projects, well, so if I could pre-sell art for a project, then that's like getting an advance, and it covers my peace of mind for that month's worth of work, or however long the advance, the pre-sales cover. I don't have to you know, scramble to draw pictures hoping that they sell, right? No fan art dailies. Like, everything that I draw, I can be a lot more relaxed about it, and I can focus my time on those projects, especially if it does well, because then that's telling me, like, oh, people want to see more of that, and which would be very encouraging. So I'm hoping to pre-sell. I'm going to start off with just a few of them, but pre-sell some of the Sleepy Hollow pages. And that'll kind of let me know how much of my energy and time I can put towards the actual project, because my goal is to actually finish it across October. So pretty short turnaround time. I've been thinking about it and working, like, planning for a while, so I guess that counts for something. But if I can put all of my time into it across, like the second half of September and all of October, my hope is to finish. I don't know exactly how many illustrations. I'm still kind of planning that out. But since I was basing it around an Inktober project, I was thinking 32, so to post for the 31 days. And 32 is just a nicer round number. So, but I wouldn't pre-sell all of them. One, because I want to make sure that that's how many I'm going to do, and I don't want to land on a place where I realize, like, well, these other illustrations won't be as strong, or the way that the writing on the pages don't really facilitate breaking it up for an extra illustration. That kind of, whatever comes up. But so I'd only pre-sell some of them, and hopefully that will cover what I usually make from selling original art each month, and so the original art time can be devoted to a project. I'm sorry, I keep pulling this off of the, I hope that was recording. I'm so sorry. that so I don't blunk my hand down in it. Let's see here, Mr. Nazgul. How do we want to ink you? Trying to remember why I was talking about Sleepy Hollow, because I started off by talking about what I had planned for September. So that's the second part of September. I actually am really making a push to wrap up my commission list, which I'm very excited about. With our crazy last year, I've had some folks on my commission list for a long time now, and everybody has been absolutely amazing and patient beyond anything I could hope. And so the fact that I'm wrapping that up, and I have a few new ones that will wrap up soon after. I love taking commissions. I really do. Something about connecting with a person who likes your art kind of on that level, where they have something that they really enjoy, and they enjoy your art, and your art makes them think of that thing. It's very cool. I'd say that's like second on my list of what I want my art to be, where I want my art to be going. So first is absolutely my own projects. More than anything, I want people to want to support my own projects, because I want them to support me as an artist, but even more than that, I want to be a storyteller. And so having people support my stories, or in the case of the public domain stuff, maybe not my story, but something that I'm excited about, that's like a step above even the fan art, right? Not they were excited and wanted you to do this thing they're excited about, but they're just excited about what you're excited about. It's very cool. Not sure if this is going to be the best way to illustrate the Black Rider, but that's how I'm going to do it with a dip pen, so here's hoping. But yeah, so September will be finishing up the commissions on my list. And starting in on this new Sleepy Hollow project. What else did I plan? Oh, I'm back on Bjorn. Started some Bjorn scripting this morning. Well, not scripting, tightening, because I already have it written. So now I go through and do the page by page. So I can start, I kind of work page by page, and then as I'm doing that, I used to do page by page and then start doing my panel breakdown, but I just learned that sometimes the panel to panel that I think is going to work doesn't. So I know that now. So anyway, scripting the panel to panel, and ready to start some penciling. I didn't have a lot of time this morning. So Bjorn, what else is going on this month? Thought about doing a print sale. Been thinking about it for a while. Had some folks ask. I want to do it. That's going to really, I think, depend on how other how the other parts of the machine kind of go this month. Because the prints is definitely it's a big unknown. Like, I know people say, like, oh, I want prints of that, I want prints of this, but will they sell enough to be worth the time and the energy? You know, if those things were not limited, I would absolutely do, well, I say everything that folks are excited about. Someone says they want prints, I'd say, yeah, let's do some prints. Someone wants me to do a fan art comic, yeah, let's do it, man. Someone wants you know, specific daily drawing suggestion, yeah, man, I'm here for it. But because time and energy are indeed limited, well, I have to try to balance the income I need to make with the the desires of my soul, right? The income I need to make and the projects that I need to make. Both of those things, I think, are the most compelling forces, unfortunately. If it's not going to make money, then I just can't do it. Gosh, that sucks. You know? Just a bummer to say, right? But that's what it is, right? I'm going to play with a little bit rougher background elements like that. Almost suggesting the background. I don't know. Again, this goes back to playing with shapes for Sleepy Hollow. So much of it is in this beautifully described wilderness, I guess. I want to be able to let the world feel immersive, and yeah, I want kind of wanted to just try something a little different than my usual shapes, slightly different from the cartooning that I usually do. Do I go all the way up to the Hobbitses, or do I leave a little halo? Anyway, so those shapes, yeah, instead of, all of my background shapes for Bjorn are always very round. Softer, I guess. Just rounder, more tree shapes. And I remember there was a picture that I drew, and I drew it real fast. I was just trying to do a sketch so that I could go practice coloring in Procreate. And so I just threw the shapes on there real quick, and when I drew the shape of a bush, I just drew this big round kind of blobby shape, knowing that I was going to go color it in, but I just sort of threw these kind of rough lines in there like that. And as I was looking through art the other day, I saw that, and I have a comic that I want to do called Wake, and that picture that I was actually coloring in Procreate, even though it looks nothing like what Wake has turned into now, was actually the very beginnings of that project. And I've been thinking about the current version of Wake. I had been thinking about doing in black and white for a long time now, but as I'm writing more and more of it, as I'm getting closer, I think, to actually doing it at some point, I think it should be colored, or I'm wondering if it should be colored. And so anyway, I went to look back at that picture, and I saw that, and made me remember drawing those kind of rough leafy shapes, and I thought a dip pen would be a good way to bring that to life. Alright, gotta be careful not to get my hand in the ink here. That guy's actually going to be solid black, I know that, so I'm going to swap out here for my Pentel brush pen. Well, I guess I'm almost done. I wanted to add some more texturing. Thinking about some dry brush here and there. Maybe I'll have to see if just a little bit of that. Go get my brush real quick. Thanks for joining me for today's talk, though. I felt like this was a true sort of studio hangout. Just chatting, letting my mind wander. Thanks for being here for that. Hopefully you're getting some work done too, or not. Hopefully you're just relaxing, taking it easy. Kind of see about some brush, some dry brush here and there, just real faint. Maybe not as faint as that, but maybe I should use the bigger brush actually. I'm using a small one here. And that's darker than I wanted to do, dang it. Oh, dang it, guys. I'm way off camera. I'm so sorry. Maybe this with the mushrooms was not quite the best place to put that. But I wanted to put a little bit of brush on there. That dry brush. And we're going to give it a little spritz. Trying to get a little bit. Nope, didn't get enough. There we go. Just some little smudgy fingerprints. Just a little bit. There we go. Dang it. And maybe one more little spritz here up on this foliage. There we go. One more on the tree. Put them over here. Hit that with some white. Alright, gonna get one of these guys. Which way? This way. get some new ones. These guys are about out. Hopefully got enough in here. We'll see. A little bit here. Sorry guys, I'm in super paying attention mode now. I realize I have not done a good job of chatting with you today. So I hope you at least liked the video. I'm pretty happy with the piece. It's always tough to get for me at least, that roughness of the pen stroke. I'm gonna go in with this guy, just a tiny little micron. See about adding some smaller lines, details. It's tough to get in there with the dip pen like this. This little spot. Anyway, it's hard to tell. Like, I obviously am much, I have a cartoon aesthetic, but doing something like this where it's so rough, I guess. It's like it's tough to tell with the Hobbits especially. Did it did it get the look, the vibe that I wanted? So, isn't that funny how you can, because I like it. I think I mean, for what I was working with, for my abilities, I feel like I did a good job playing with some new technique and everything. How you can both like what you did but not know if you accomplished what you wanted to accomplish. I think that's a healthy thing to be aware of, right? That I don't know if I got what I wanted, but what I got is good enough. Like, if someone else did this, I'd probably go, oh wow, that's really good, I like what you're doing there, but when it's yourself, it's not quite what you meant for it to be. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I'm not sure how this will inform what I'm wanting to do with Sleepy Hollow, but it's definitely fun experimenting. I need to make sure I'm doing more of that. And thanks for joining me while I did. Sorry if the chat was a little more meandering than usual. YouTube cares. They're all about how long people watch your videos and whatnot. I just want you to have a good time. Get something out of it. Being inspired would be amazing, but hopefully you're already inspired, and hanging out with me is just your time to put that inspiration down on paper. Alright, y'all. I think I'm gonna call it. So, for better or worse, I'm gonna go with that. I may come back through and remove these halos around them. We'll see. Alright, man. Thank you guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. Ooh, decision. Do I sign on this side or that side? I'll keep a little weight on this side. Alright, thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you next time.